Today let's talk about why Americans love Disneyland so much. And a hint, it's because it's kind of European.
Disneyland is quintessentially American. Or is it? Disneyland's Main Street is like a time capsule. It harkens back to a time when you could stroll through the center of your town without having to drive to every single stop along the way. Disneyland captures the very essence of what we wish American cities could be like today. Walkable. Let's talk about why Americans love Disneyland so much. And hint, it is because it's kinda European. The first reason Americans are so in love with Disneyland is because it is a walkable city. Disneyland is super walkable. There are sidewalks, and yes, they may be chock full of strollers hitting your ankles, like those scooters you had as a kid, but you aren't walking on the side of the highway. In fact, you could walk right in the middle of the road. You can walk all the way from Main Street to a galaxy far, far away. If you need to rest, there are ample public seating options, and you can even sit down in a cafe without needing to purchase something. Everything is relatively close together. Reason 1.5 of why Americans are so obsessed with Disneyland is that it actually has real bread. Yes, there's Bodine Bakery, and you'll see a lot of bakeries in Europe. In fact, they're almost at every corner in some European countries. But in America, you could be hard-pressed to find a good loaf of sourdough bread. I mean, I usually have to come here to get bread. For real. But let's get back to the main meat of the argument. America needs more walkable cities. I mean, Disneyland is probably one of our peak walkable cities, and it's an amusement park. And that leads to our second point, public transportation.
Disneyland has a myriad of public transportation, and it's included with your cost of admission. Perhaps that's why Americans love Disneyland so much. You can take the Mark Twain riverboat, or you can take the tiny canoes, and we also just rode the raft over here. Imagine if there was public transportation for everyone, everywhere, accessible and free.
And no, I'm not suggesting we all hop on a riverboat to get to where we need to go on our morning commutes, but I am saying that there's a lot of accessible public transportation at Disneyland that is included within your cost of admission to the parks. There are riverboats, rafts, canoes, railroads. I mean, the list goes on and on. In America today, many of our walkable spaces are malls. For example, the 3rd Street Promenade at the Grove in LA is a hangout spot for me and my friends, but our places to hang out and participate in a community are often commercial spaces, where we're expected to spend money to participate in them. I mean, Disneyland is no exception to this. You literally have to pay a fee to get in and to hang out there, but once you're there, it's incredibly easy to navigate. When I visited Portugal, I noticed a sense of connection and community that was present within the towns. At the risk of sounding like someone who just got back from study abroad program, I mean, it just felt amazing. The locals all knew each other well, there was plenty of public spaces to hang out in, and most importantly, there were sidewalks and public transportation to get there. It was accessible to participate in community, especially if you don't need a car and an entrance fee to get in. Even the trams there reminded me of the ones at California Adventure, and I thought how wonderful LA would be if there were more safe options for getting around the city. Could infrastructure like this work in LA? And I think the metro that they built from Santa Monica to downtown is already improving the situation a lot. Now that, kids, is a train. Believe it or not, America was on the cutting edge of rail technology in 1869, completing the Transcontinental Railroad. It cut down the 3,000-mile trek across the U.S. from months to less than a week. And now you can still ride portions of the railroad today, but imagine the plethora of great transportation options we'd have if rail travel was revitalized. You can already see some of the efforts of public transportation works, and things like the Boring Tunnel, which is just what it sounds like, but also in things like LA's Metro Initiative. But transportation in Disneyland feels like true American freedom, or the idea of it at least. At any time you can hop on the Disneyland Railroad, included in the price of admission, and be dropped off somewhere completely different in the park. You can drive in Disneyland, but by choice. Driving is an activity of leisure, and perhaps life can be like that again. And I feel like it's no coincidence that Autopia, the driving attraction, is actually in Tomorrowland, a hope for a better future. And my dream one day is to have one of these cars. I just love tiny cars, but I'm terrified of driving a small car because, you know, you don't want to drive a small car next to a semi-truck in Los Angeles. It's interesting if we think of the future of driving as something that is not necessary, but rather for fun.
It's funny here because driving is a thing of leisure. It's a fun activity. It's not a necessity.
I didn't mean to say that so sassily. It's really hard to drive and vlog.
Personally, Disneyland is the only place that I actually enjoy driving because I live in LA and I grew up driving and learning how to drive in LA, and it's absolutely chaotic. Here there's traffic, but it's not as bad. During quarantine, we got to see the amount of human capital that's wasted while commuting to and from work, spending hours on the 405 freeway in bumper-to-bumper traffic.
This is basically a rant about how I really hate driving, but it'd be so nice to sit on a train. The monorail as well is an idea borrowed from Europe that is now a beloved staple of the park, and it still looks futuristic to this day. I mean, this monorail style is also used in a lot of the attractions as well, but that's besides the point. It would just be really nice to have public transportation similar to the level that they have it in Europe. It is just so wonderful there. So yes, I sound like a study abroad student. I'm so sorry.
Next, we'll talk about how there's a sense of safety.
Welcome back, Sophiya drivers. We hope you enjoyed your cruise through the highways of tomorrow.
So this third reason why I think Americans love Disneyland so much is because of the sense of safety. It's a pretty serene place. You enter through security, and you know that there are a bunch of security guards all over the place in this park. You also feel a sense of safety from outside dangers that you would face and encounter in just your everyday life in America. And there is a sense of childlike wonder here as well. But it's just really nice. It's like a contained bubble. It's its own little imagined community, which is what Walt Disney was kind of going for when you think of his ideas for Epcot and this utopian society where everything is really safe and clean and contained. It's funny how the elements of Disneyland that make it so appealing to people today are some of the elements rooted in America's past. It would be great to experience this kind of mobility again in cities, as well as the sense of community and safety. Do these opinions ring true to you about how you feel in Disneyland, and perhaps why you love or enjoy Disneyland so much? And yes, maybe it really is just for the bread. Well, I'd love to know your thoughts below. As they say, a penny for your thoughts, so please leave your comments. I'd love to hear your takes, and maybe mine is just that I really do enjoy the bread there. It is so good. Well, stay sweet, everyone.